Newcastle aren't even a stepping stone club anymore. They're much worse than that. They're now just a prison where players go to end their careers. Look, I'm not saying how Isak has gone about things is right. I'm not saying that. I'm not here to argue the morality around the situation. But when it gets to this point with a player and they're still not able to leave, why would any player want to join a club, at least an upcoming player, that when a reasonable bid is made for them by a massive club in comparison, it's just flat out rejected? No conversation about it. Again, don't go at me with the morality around the situation. That's not what I'm arguing here. But do you wonder why the likes of Sesko joined Man United over Newcastle this summer? Because they're looking at this situation and going, they're not going to sell me. Like, ultimately, unless you're from Newcastle, Newcastle isn't the end goal for players. They want to join the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, maybe even Liverpool, PSG, Bayern, the top teams in the world, right? And Newcastle, quite frankly, aren't that. And they're not going to be that for a number of years. And that's if they keep investing heavily for the next, 10, 15 years, then maybe they'll get there. So why would a player ever want to join a club that's just going to flat out refuse to sell them to one of the best clubs in the world when they come in with a reasonable bid? And I'm not saying you have to accept that first bid. It's just the starting point for negotiations. If they flat out refuse it, then they're just not going to join you anymore. That's unless they put in a release clause into their contracts, which you can expect basically every single player ever joining Newcastle to do now. And they're not going to want to join with unrealistic release clauses. If a player joins for, let's say, £30 million, they're going to want a £50, £60 million release clause in there. So not only have Newcastle seriously hindered the amount of money they can make on a player, they're also just telling all the talented youngsters in the world that we won't treat you particularly well either. And again, I'm not saying what Isak here has done right here, just that young talented players won't want to join.